Y'all know when celebrities, like, you know, get exposed for, like, saying ignorant stuff, and then they go and delete the tweet and act like they didn't say that? That's what Disney did with this movie. That storytelling does not heal people. What? Medicine. Where was the medicine? We're about to go more in detail about why it is a hot trash can on a summer day when it is 100 degrees outside in Los Angeles, California. That's literally how much of a mess this movie is.
Come on, boys, get loud. 'Cause when the music starts bumping, the whole place will be jumping. It's my scene, my scene. You know what I mean. It's my scene, you know what
Hi, public service announcement. If your girl has dyed hair, a nose ring, and wears a cat-made outfit, that's not your girl.
It's me. Yeah. It's me.
We're finally recording this thing. It's been a week. It has been a freaking week. Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm back with another video. Hello, welcome to or welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harry Hook's pirate ship. Come here. Please understand that I am the captain. You're not my first mate. You got that? You got that? Okay, because you're not about to be telling me how to run my pirate ship. If you think you can try to tell me how to run my pirate ship, go start your own. Okay. Okay, before we begin, hello. Y'all know we always got to do the self-promo. Oh, Jesus, because I can't even get straight into this thing because it is so much mess to unpack, and I don't even know where to begin when it comes to unpacking the mess within this film. Okay, but you know, before we get into the details of all that jazz, hello, my name's Harriyanna. I have a web series called The Progenies coming out. I will have the link to that down below. I have a Patreon. Please consult me on Patreon if you can, and I also have a shop called harriyannahook.com. Go sign up for our mailing list. We are launching so soon. I will have a video explaining why it took so long for the launch, okay? Okay, we're gonna get into this. Okay, she's red today. She's back in her red hair phase. So that can tell you the state of my mental health at the moment. Not good. But anyway, like I said, ever since the entire Dr. Seuss thing like kind of blew up, and yes, I do have a video about that. I will have that link down below if you have not seen it. I really encourage you guys to go see that. A lot of people brought to my attention about Walt Disney's racism, which I was not surprised about. I already knew about it, but I haven't done like in-depth research about it. So people were asking, hey, do you think you can make a video just talking about Walt Disney, not just the Disney company, just Walt Disney himself's racism? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Why not? Because it's important to talk about these things. They're a part of history and we need to learn about them, okay? We need to learn about them. We always need to know the origins of the things that we engage with, okay? Not trying to say this to ruin anybody's childhood, whatever. Like, yo, come on. Like I said, it was requested. I'm not really keen on doing requests at the moment because I get like really bombarded with them. I don't want to make videos on things that I don't want to do. But here I was like, you know what? I actually do want to make this video because I have not really found a Song of the South video on YouTube that I really like that, in my opinion. I hate filming during the day because I always look weird on camera. Anyway, so here we go. Now, I decided it was just so much stuff that has to do with Walt Disney and his racism. So I just picked a section of it and we are going to be talking about his film, Song of the South. And I say his film because he was alive when this mess was made. He was very involved when it was made, okay? Okay. We are going to be talking about Song of the freaking South. Y'all know when celebrities, like, you know, get exposed for like saying ignorant stuff and then they go and delete the tweet and act like they didn't say that? That's what Disney did with this movie. That is literally what Disney did with this movie, but they very much failed because, as you know, when those celebrities delete their tweets, people screenshot them. There are so many illegal copies and undercover copies of this film out here. People be selling them on eBay for like who knows how much, okay? It ain't no secret, okay? We know what you said, Disney. You know what you said. So here we're going to be talking about the movie, the dumpster fire of a movie to be exact, called Song of the freaking South. I don't like how high y'all were. I'm like, look down at me a little bit more. Now, I've always been aware of Song of the South since I was in about middle school, but none of this information about this film, in my opinion, is like new to me or surprising, but it's always disappointing in the most part. Okay, I've always known about Song of the South. I never actually sat down and watched it until about a few days ago, and it took me days to watch this movie because I had to sit down and watch it in doses because I was just like, ooh, this racism is on 10. Now, at the time of this film's release, Disney movies were flopping, which means they basically was not bringing in Snow White money. Snow White did a lot for the Disney company, and then years later, the views was not adding up. You know when a YouTuber dropped like a real good video, and then all the videos afterwards don't add up? That's how it was for Disney. I can relate to that on that part. And then Gone with the Wind came out, and Gone with the Wind made big bank, okay? In the words of Flo Milli, it made big bank, okay? It made big bank, and Disney thought making their own version of Gone with the Wind would bring in that money, and a lot of other people were doing that too, so they weren't the only people out here trying to do plantation life, glamorizing slavery type of movies, okay? They weren't the only ones, so... And the thing about it is that this movie did make a lot of money, but not on the first release. It kept getting re-released over and over and over the years. So, yeah, Disney, you wasted your time with that one. You thought you did something revolutionary and it didn't do well till then. And then it developed a cult following along the years. So that's mainly where a lot of Song of the South's income came from. Now, like I said, Song of the South is a film about a white family, specifically a white boy. He visits his grandma's plantation and develops an innocent bond with a black man who works there. Basically a slave, okay? He's basically just a slave. This movie does take place during the Reconstruction period of America. And if any of y'all remember y'all social studies classes, y'all American history classes, your Georgia history classes, you would know that the Reconstruction era, first of all, a lot of them slaves didn't have nowhere to go. So they continued to stay on their master's plantations and still worked for them. So yeah, it wasn't that much different. It wasn't that much different. So yeah, that's why I'm like, it's slavery. Because this movie, they keep trying to say, it's not slaves. It takes place in the Reconstruction period. It's about the same thing, okay? The people still doing the same slave stuff they was doing back in the day before it was illegal, okay? It's the same thing. Anyway, let's continue. It is the only theatrical Disney film with a black lead up until The Princess and the Frog, released in 2009. Now, if I add that up, that's about like a 63 age year difference. Okay, Disney, okay. So, like I said, I needed to watch this film to make sure I do this video essay justice. Yes, I watched Song of the South. No, I'm not telling you how I watched it, okay? That's a secret that I'm not going to expose, okay? Mind your damn business. Mind your business, okay? Y'all not about to get me in trouble. Anyway, before we go any further, the main reason I just decided to just stick to just talking strictly about the movie, like the 90-minute movie, Song of the South, that's I stuck to that because if I were to make an entire video about every messed up thing that went on with the making of this film and then the aftermath that it had afterwards, this video would be 4 hours long. Okay, I know y'all be telling me I'm gonna sit and watch a 4-hour long video. I know y'all would do that for me, but I'm just like, I don't want to sit here and be yapping for 4 hours straight. I know I can sit down and take a break and whatever, but I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Harry can't do it, okay? Harry has her limits. She knows her limits. I know I can take a break, but like a 4-hour video is just too stressful to make. So there is this really, really good podcast that I listen to. You Must Remember This podcast. The podcast is called You Must Remember This. They have a 6-part series strictly about Song of the South and everything that went on with it, on camera, behind the scenes, Disney, Hattie McDaniel, the whole 9, okay? I will have that link down below if you are curious to know about everything messed up that happened with this film, okay? It really helped me a lot developing this video, and I just want to give a shout out to them. They are so freaking great. So yeah, so like I said, I'm going to tell you guys what happened in Song of the South, and then we're going to dissect it, and I'm going to explain why a lot of this stuff in this film was harmful, okay? And I'm mainly doing this because Disney doesn't want you to know what happened in this movie. But I do. I don't care, okay? Like I said, let's go ahead and get started talking about what exactly happened in the film Song of the freaking South, okay? We about to prim hood cinema our way through the Song of the freaking South, okay? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's go. Okay, so the movie begins with Johnny, his parents, and their cook, played by Hattie McDaniel, basically the maid, but you know, it's Reconstruction period. They can't really call her like a housemaid or anything like that. Anyway, let's continue. So, basically they're taking him to his grandma's house. This movie just kind of like smacks you in the face right away with the racism as they get to the grandma's plantation house. Okay, they get to the grandma's plantation house, and when the family comes, she says this to her son: it's nice to have a man in the house again. So it's already racist. It's already racist, okay? Like, white people don't, and they still don't see black men as men. They see them as boys, which I find so extremely strange. When black boys are referred to as men, they like to adultify black children and black adults, but when they actually are adults, they refer to them as kids, and they see them less than, but not as adults. So I'm like, we're already in here with the racism. We're 5 minutes in, and it just smacked you in the face, okay? Smacked you in the face right there. Now, the mother and father don't have the best relationship. They don't. They just not getting along all that well, and she don't want him to go back and all that stuff. You know, white people drama. It's like this movie is like half a white person drama, like, you know, them old Hollywood movies like that, and the other half is just a racist disaster. So I'm gonna be flopping back and forth between that a lot of this times, okay? Okay, just try to keep that in mind. So Johnny's sad about his father leaving. His father's going back to Atlanta to work, and he's leaving them in the country to, you know, do that. I'm assuming that this plantation is like McDonough. That's where I'm assuming where this is from, okay? If Georgia people, Atlanta people, if you know, you know, okay? If you know, you know. I was so mad when I found out this movie take place in Atlanta. I was like, why does this take place in my city? What did we do to deserve this? Like, no, they could have put this in, like, South Carolina or something. Like, no. Anyway, let's go. And then, you know, Johnny's sad. He run away. He's sad about his daddy leaving and whatever. So, you know, he start running away. He run away into the woods. And then as he's running away to the woods, he start hearing singing. He start hearing noise. He start hearing stuff. And he finds black people just singing and dancing and having a good old time, okay? They just enjoying themselves, okay? Which is another issue. You know, the happy Negro stereotype that we always see in a lot of these slave movies. Not more nowadays, but like in the past, where they had like that happy plantation life where it made it seem like slavery was a good thing for the slaves, and they were happy to be there when they weren't. They were being held against their will. But anyway, we're gonna get back into that in a minute. And this is exactly how we meet Uncle Ramus, as he is sitting there telling the story of Brer Rabbit. I know we're not there yet when we meet Brer Rabbit, but like, Brer Rabbit pissed me off so bad. So I'm just like, oh. Okay, and like, also something is strange. Like, this is something really, really weird I noticed when watching this movie. This is the most black people I've seen in a Disney movie. Like up until, like, you know, Jump In and, Let It Shine, the Disney Channel movies, like, those are like theatrical Disney movies. That's the most black people I ever seen in a Disney movie. Up until like around that time. That genuinely shocked me when I always heard so much stuff about Song of the freaking South, and I did not mute my phone. Let's go ahead and mute this. When I heard so much mess about Song of the freaking South, I didn't think I was gonna see this many black people. I thought it was just gonna be like 3. Ow, it was a bunch of them, okay? It was a lot of them. I was just like, oh, this really is Georgia, okay? This really is Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, it's not Atlanta, Georgia, but you know, it's outside. So I was like, okay. So, that really woo, that really just kind of took me by surprise. I know Disney had movies come out later on in the years. Don't try to tell me you're down, but there was movies before Jump In and yada yada yada. But I'm talking about like the most memorable ones. Like I know we had Selma Laura Selma. I know we had the Ruby Bridges story, but I'm talking about ones. I know we had Black Cinderella. I'm talking about the ones that everybody kind of remember from my generation. Jump In and what's that movie? Let It Shine. How did I forget that? But like seriously, like I just did not expect to see that many black people. I genuinely had to pause it for a minute and I was just like, now why Disney couldn't put this many black people in their films after this? Okay, because if you look at the entire like movie timeline around that time, there was barely any black people in the films. I don't even think there was any now that I think about it, because I watch a lot of Disney movies. Okay, I don't recall seeing black people. At least not that many in one set. Okay, let's just go ahead. Let's just go ahead and continue. Like I said, we only 9 minutes in. We only 9 minutes in. And it's another big, major problem. Why are they trying to make it seem like it was a good time for black people back then? They were not happy. They weren't, okay? Like, I understand black people tried to make it like great in the most of their times, but that is like the most frustrating thing that I see in a lot of these plantation life movies, where they bring in black people and they're only portrayed as happy. No, they were not happy. We were not happy. A lot of that trauma done passed down to this generation right here. We feel your pain, okay? Y'all gonna stop trying to think slavery was not that bad as we learned it. I think slavery is like 100 times worse than what we were taught. That's just me. That's just me. That's just my opinion. That is just my opinion, like I said. Anyway, he then sings the minstrel song, Zippy-Doo-Dah. If you don't know what that is, the zip, coon, all that stuff, it's racist, okay? It's just racist. And we talk about minstrelsy a lot on this channel, so you guys should be on the know. But we're going to get more into detail of minstrelsy later. Again, for the 4th time around on this channel, we're going to be talking about minstrelsy. Imagine how irritated I am. And then after he sings the minstrel song, he begins to tell one of his stories about Brer Rabbit. Brer Rabbit, along the way, we get to meet Brer Bear and Fox. Now, the 3 things that the 3 best words I have to describe these 3 characters, it felt like a freaking minstrel show. I've seen minstrel shows in the past, okay? I had to watch them for school and when I was studying and everything like that. It literally just reminded me of freaking minstrel show. This just them running around doing whatever. That's literally what it was. It just looked like minstrelsy. And we're going to get back into that in a minute. We're not right there on that issue because, like I said, I'm finding issues along the way as I'm watching this film. But if I just sit here and dissect every single last part of it, like I said, it's going to be a hot freaking mess. We're going to leave that until after we have the discussion when I finally get through this viewing. And the part of the reason it's taking me so long to get through this because we're only about 15 minutes in the film. This movie has issues right away. So like I said, walking minstrel show. The next day, Johnny and his little token black friend. The token black friend trope started early, okay? Disney was doing this in the 40s. They were like, you know what? We're going to set a trend. We're going to start the token black kid trope. And they did that, okay? But nobody knows they started it. I'm not saying that they started it, but this is one of the first few instances I have seen of the token black friend trope. So that was very disturbing. Very disturbing. Now let's get back into the topic. Okay, so next, him and his token black friend, they over here playing outside. And the white boys next door, they start being racist to the black boy, and like I went in full defense mode at that part when they yelled at him. I was just like, is this who we are, Disney? Is this who we represent? Is this who we are? Okay. Anyway, so they make fun of his clothes. He start crying and stuff like that. And then he meets their sister. And they have a cute little puppy love bond. And he gives him her puppy. He was like, you can have my doggy. I know you're sad, but here, take my dog. Take my dog. So that's literally what happened right there. Next thing you know, Uncle Ramus helps him because, the kid's still bullying him. He helped him stand up for him. He helped him take care of the dog, even though Johnny's mom said he can't have the dog. He's still like helping him take care of the dog. He's just being a nice person. That's literally just what Uncle Remus is doing. He's just being a nice person. Okay, so then next thing you know, we go back to the Brer Rabbit and the Bear and the Fox stories. That it's like it flips back and forth between the stories about the animals and then the real life setting. So, you know, it's animated with the animals, live action when it gets to the people, okay? So, you know, Fox and the bear want revenge on the rabbit, and they make a fake version of him out of black tar and animal fur. And he looked just like them white performers did in minstrel shows. I legit had to like rewind this scene about 3 times to make sure this was what I was seeing. I was just like, okay, we doing blackface now. We doing blackface now. Okay, come on. And like literally, they are like threatening to hang him and skin him and lynch him. And if you don't know why that is offensive, during the times of slavery here in America, when black people were being murdered, they were either skinned alive to death or lynched, also known as hanging. You don't know what lynching is. Basically, it's, you know, when they put the rope around their neck, they tie their hands behind their back, and then they pull them in a tree and yank them down. That's why it's certain trees out here where you just go down in the South and you'll be like, yep, that's a hanging tree. Okay. So then next thing you know, we have a nice little moment in the kitchen with the cook, played by Hattie McDaniels, and Uncle Remus. It was a really nice thing, just saying black people just exist for a moment. I just really did enjoy that scene, okay? I know this movie has problems, but I did really enjoy that scene. Just seeing 2 black actors just kind of interact. It wasn't for long, but you know, next thing you know, one of the house slaves comes in, and I don't really call her a house slave. It's just she was working in the house. That's why I refer to her as that. She comes in. The kids want their dog back. The little white boys next door want the dog back, which starts so much drama. It starts so much drama here on the little plantation, okay? Johnny's mom gets upset with Uncle Remus from telling him the stories about Brer Rabbit and Brer and the Fox, okay? She was just not happy about her child like being influenced by those stories. She claimed that the stories were influencing her child to act out, when really she just didn't like the thought of a black man having influence on her kid, okay? Anyway, let's go ahead and continue. Like I said, after Johnny's mom has the talk with Remus about all of that stuff, he gives them little boys back their dog, because what? Okay. I'm gonna get to this. Like, I'm not gonna say it just yet, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Remus gives the dog back. Johnny mad. He upset. Next thing you know, there's like a party going on the plantation. Johnny mama get him all dressed up. The little girl he got a crush on, she get a cute dress. She excited. They happy to go to the party. Next thing you know, he get in a fight with the boys because they start picking on him. They push their sister on the ground. They mess her dress up. She got mud on it. She's sad. Johnny starts throwing hands. The boys start going back and forth, and the boys about to like knock him upside the head with like something that looked like a brick or a piece of wood or something, before Remus grabbed that little boy's hand and stopped him, and he was like, yeah, you're not doing that. Go away. Go away. So glad Remus came to the rescue. Oh Jesus, we're gonna get into why that's a problem later. Basically, magical Negro. Let's go ahead and say that. Magical freaking Negro. Next thing you know, Uncle Remus, puts a stop to it. A little girl crying. He want her to stop crying. So next thing you know, he starts telling them another story about Brer Rabbit, Brer, and that fox. Okay, and remember how we mentioned lynching? Remember how we mentioned hanging? Basically, Brer Rabbit has the rope around his neck and his hands tied behind his back. So, yeah, we know when we see that, we know what's gonna happen. you know, but it doesn't happen. It's just played off for laughs. It does happen where they do eventually get to the point where they are yanking him and like choking him, but it, you know, it doesn't succeed. You know, it's Disney. He gets out, and next thing you know, runs away. He runs away, and the next thing you know, the mom was trying to find out where Johnny had been. She finds him and the little girl. They dirty. And then, next thing you know, she finds out that Uncle Ramus told him another story about Brer Rabbit. And then she tells him to stay away from her son. She tells him to stay away from her son. So, I just gotta make this comment right here. What honestly pissed me off so bad is that Ramus literally was looking out for her kid the whole entire movie. She was nowhere in his sight. She was not taking care of him, okay? And it really gets on my nerves because it just reminds me a lot about a lot of things that happened during slavery, where white people would not raise their kids. White people would not watch their kids. They would literally have the slaves watching their kids, feeding their kids, nurturing their kids, okay? White people was not watching their kids, okay? Okay? That just really irritated me right there. I was like, why are you getting so upset about this black man having influence on your child when you're not even watching him? Literally, Ramus has helped Johnny so much during this movie. Like, when he ran away and went missing, he found him. He took care of him, okay? You know, when that little boy was about to knock his ass out, he stopped it, okay? But she just didn't want to hear it. She just didn't want to hear it. So next thing you know, she just didn't understand that Ramus was just helping her kid. But anyway, let's just go ahead and go. Oh, it gets worse. Like, y'all, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Okay. Now, Johnny misses his dad, basically, which is kind of like symbolism to why he like latched on to Uncle Ramus so much, because he sees him kind of as like a father figure to him. You know how white people be having black people watch their kids back then. That's literally what this is. That's literally what this is. So, you know, Ramus feels bad about, you know, upsetting Johnny's mother. He gets ready to leave. He goes to leave, and Johnny's sad about it. He can't handle it. He don't want Uncle Ramus to leave, okay? Because it's like when his dad left and went back to Atlanta, Uncle Ramus was just kind of there as kind of like his father figure. So he was pretty upset about Ramus leaving. Next thing you know, Johnny started running after him. He provokes a bull. The bull run him over, and it's just really very dramatic. It's just very dramatic, and I'm just like... Because, like, right after the scene where he get ran over, the slaves are singing outside the house. They're just singing outside the house, wishing Johnny a recovery. They're just wishing him a good recovery after he gets hurt. Like, I'm so... Oh, God. I can't keep calling them slaves because at the time of this movie said it was released, slavery was illegal, was Reconstruction. But okay, the black people were doing this, and I'm just kind of like, okay, let's just keep going. So as they are singing and hoping for Johnny's recovery, because they said Johnny is just not doing well, they say he's talking about his head and everything like that. The white people are inside just, you know, trying to like get him to cooperate or like, you know, wake up and come back to earth. And he don't want his mama. He don't want his daddy. He don't want his grandma. He wants Uncle Ramus. So, next thing you know, Uncle Ramus actually was outside that entire time while they was like, you know, wishing him a recovery. I think he came in like right late when they started like, you know, singing and stuff like that. Anyway, Ramus just walks up, and then next thing you know, Grandma asks him, can he come inside? And he's like, sure. So he does come inside. He tells Johnny another story about Brer Rabbit. And then Johnny is magically healed after that. Storytelling does not heal people. What? Medicine. Where was the medicine? Even food, to a certain extent, can help heal you. Like, where was the aid? Magical Negro. That's the problem. How his magical storyteller I brought him back to life. Come on, come on. Anyway, I know it's fiction. I know it's... Oh, come on, let's just go. Let's just go. Remember, it's a kid's movie. It's not supposed to make sense. I'm tired of y'all trying to say that stuff about kids' films. It was a kid's show. It shouldn't be taken seriously. No, I think it should. Anyway, let's go ahead and freaking continue. So, you know, he's healthy. He's wealthy again. Well, he was always wealthy, but he's healthy again. So, like I said before my camera rudely cut me off, him, his little token black friend, and his little girlfriend, they go run outside the house and begin singing the minstrel song the very next day. How did he recover that quick from getting ran over by a bull? Car accidents, you don't recover that quick? This is so fake. What? Is this who we are? Is this what we... The thing about it is that it's not even... It wasn't played off like slapstick or anything like that. Like... Okay, let's just continue. It wasn't even played off as slapstick. That's, I feel like I'm just getting angry for no reason now about this part. This was just bad writing right here. It wasn't even just racism. It was just bad writing. It was racism too, but it was bad writing. Next thing you know, the kids start singing the minstrel song, and then Brer Rabbit comes to life. Uncle Remus is shocked. He was like, whoa. Is this the weed talking? Like... Okay, he just saw him. They start singing. The birds start singing, okay? And then next thing you know, they sing the coon song, the minstrel song, riding off out into sunset. And that is the end of this disaster. That's Song of the South for you. That's the movie. Not only was this movie just racist, it was boring as hell. I'm sorry. It was. It was, okay? It was offensive, and it was also very, very dull, okay? Literally, the things that made it interesting were the things that made it offensive, okay? Like, my jaw literally dropped seeing a lot of the animal scenes go back and forth. It's... Okay, anyway, let's just continue, because here we're after I gave you the summary of what Song of the South is, because so many people have never seen this movie, they don't know what it was about. That's literally what it was about. That's literally the entire movie summary here from the captain. You're welcome. You don't have to watch Song of the South now that I told you what it was. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into like the issues with this movie, because I'm just like, the movie... There's a lot of dissecting to do here. There's a lot of dissecting to do here. You made it halfway through this video after me just telling y'all about the dumpster fire or what Song of the South was. We're about to go more in detail about why it is a hot trash can on a summer day when it is 100 degrees outside in Los Angeles, California. That's literally how much of a mess this movie is. And my nose starting to itch. Okay. You know, when my nose started to itch, that's when, you know, I'm really feeling that. Like, when the film wasn't being racist, it didn't catch my attention. Like, it really took me forever to watch it for these two reasons alone. One, it being very, very dull. And two, being very, very hurtful and offensive. Now, we're about to get into one of the main issues about why this movie made me very, very emotional. Because it wasn't really like the racist stuff in it like it was. But the thing that made me cry after watching this movie was because of the black actors in this film. And it just hurts me because I'm an actor, if you guys don't know. And it just really hurts me knowing that these actors suffered so we can have something better. It ain't that much better when it comes to us getting roles and stuff like that. But they really suffered for us to come some far in this industry. Like, the black actors in the film were portrayed as animals. We saw a few black people have one-liners here and there, but the only two main ones that we saw on screen were Uncle Remus and Hattie McDaniel's character, which was the cook. The other three main black cast members, like, we have the little boy, you know, basically the token black kid, Hattie McDaniel, and Uncle Remus. Basically, those people right there, you know, those characters right there were like the only black people we really saw on camera that played a major part to the story. As I did mention, we did see a lot of black people in this film, but they were just extras. They were just background. They were just also side characters. The other three main black cast members of this film were playing the animals. They were playing the animals. And people always love to bring up the thing about how when it comes to Disney, they always have black people and just people of color in general portray animals in film, or they get turned into animals. And it started really, really early on. They started this mess with Song of the freaking South. The animal, that stuff started there. That is one thing that people really do not know, and we really got to start having that discussion when we talk about how Disney always tries to portray us as animals and not people, okay? So, like, seeing how so many black actors were involved in this film, seeing how they took a job like this literally hurts me, because there really wasn't much else for them to take at the time, okay? Especially coming from Disney, and Disney was like a big name with Snow White and all that. They were like itching probably to get that opportunity to work on a Disney film, and they probably thought that it would never happen again. And what do you know, to our surprise, we barely saw another Disney movie with black people not too long after this. Like, so it was just like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm probably never ever going to be able to be in a Disney film ever again, even if it doesn't really cater to my people. I'm going to sit here and take this opportunity. That really, really, really freaking hurts me. Like I said, and just me being an actor, I get super sad seeing black people in old Hollywood films, because I just can't help but think about the way they were treated. Like, I get treated bad in 2021 on set. Imagine how they were getting treated. Like I just can't help but wonder of how bad it would have been for them. I just can't stand watching it. Like when I was watching Ryan Murphy's Hollywood, which is a terrible show. I mentioned that before on this channel. I was just like, dang, they're getting treated so bad, and this hurts. It hurts. So, this movie ain't that much different from Gone with the Wind, by the way. You know, how they try to glamorize plantation life. They make it seem like the slaves are happy and whatever. This movie ain't that much different from Gone with the Wind, as it basically is a ripoff from Gone with the Wind. And Gone with the Wind has a lot of issues. That movie is honestly not that great. The story in general is not that great. Also, if you guys would like to know more about Gone with the Wind and why it's extremely problematic, just the story itself and not the film, Princess Weeks, who is Milena Pendulum on YouTube, has an amazing Gone with the Wind video. Literally top tier, amazing. She deserves more followers. Y'all need to go watch her video about Gone with the Wind, and also go subscribe to her, because okay, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going, because like I said, that will explain a lot more if you want to go in more detail about why Song of the South is an issue. Let's go ahead and continue. Like, when it annoys me, like anytime somebody with melanin popped up in this movie, it was like racism palooza. Like, that's like the best way to describe this movie. Racism palooza. Like, I call it racism palooza because literally I mentioned this. The only thing memorable about this movie was it being racist, okay? I didn't care about what them white people had going on. It just wasn't good. The acting wasn't all that good. Like, the black people did great in it. I'm not gonna lie. The black people did amazing. They did all they could with this performance. But the white people in this movie just weren't giving it. Like, they just weren't. Like, it just really did not catch my attention. And it's sad that the only stuff from this movie that really stuck with me and that I could remember was all of the, you know, the stuff where they were making fun of black people. That's really all I can remember about this film. And I watched it a few days ago. Over a span of 3 days. Come on, come on, come on. Now, what bothered me, another thing about this movie that really bothered me, was the housing situation, okay? Please tell me why grandma lived in a nice plantation mansion. Literally, really big mansion. Very, very nice house. I'm not gonna lie. I pay my respect when it's due. It was a nice house. It was a nice house. Why Uncle Raymond's living in a damn shack? And why we don't even see where the rest of the slaves live either. We don't even see where Hattie McDaniel's character lived. Why was Uncle Raymond's living in a damn shack cabin in the woods? Like, what? Okay, it's just like that whole entire thing where she mentioned we finally got another man in the house, where she's just seeing black people as less than, that she don't even want them in the same home as her. Like, that is, it baffles me. It really, really baffles me. Like, as somebody that has learned so much stuff about slavery, I can pick up on how Disney is just trying to say that this movie didn't take place during slavery, it take place in Reconstruction. But so much of this movie, so much of the stuff that happened in it, it's stuff that happened during slavery. So, okay. Okay. Also, we got to get into the way they speak. The black people speak completely different than the white people. It sounds as if they're speaking a different language, okay? The black people talking heavy slang, heavy ebonics, you know, AAVE, basically, you know, African American vernacular English. Black people are basically talking like that the entire time. Even when it comes down to the little black boy in the film, they all talk like this. While all the white people speak in that, you know, that annoying transatlantic accent that you always see in old Hollywood films. That's literally how all the black people in this movie speak. So, yeah. Why is it that white people are seen to be speaking proper when the black people are seen to be talking as messy? That's just another thing that I've just really irritates me when I watch a lot of these old films. And one thing that really bothers me is that, you know how we have that saying where people say you talk white or you talk like a white person and things like that. Hollywood is to blame. Hollywood is to blame. One thing that really bothers me is that people don't like to acknowledge that entertainment has a lot to do with history, and it really does. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It has a lot to do with that. Like, in many of these films in the past, black people speak completely different than the white people. As I mentioned, it sounds completely different. You think they'd be speaking another freaking language. That's really what bothers me so much. Hollywood is to blame for why people assume that if you talk a certain way that it is in connection to whiteness. When no, I'm just pronouncing my words correctly. What exactly is correctly? That's why I said correctly in that sense, okay? Because of my accent and the way I was raised and things like that, I have a hard time pronouncing certain words, okay? Like, I slur my words sometimes. Yeah, that's just how I speak. I grow up around black people all the time. This is just how we talk. And a lot of that had to do with, you know, slavery, where, you know, black people weren't given proper education, and that had to do with the way they talk. So it really just kind of bothers me where, like I mentioned this before, how nowadays people love to say that anybody can talk like this, yada, yada, yada. But I'm like, y'all really need to understand the origin of where that accent comes from, okay? Y'all really just got to understand the origin of where that comes from, because black people was the first people speaking like that. Go ahead and attack me. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into it. The movie has misogynoir in it. The good old Disney misogynoir. The good old misogynoir. This film has misogynoir in it, and it is... Okay. Literally, only one black woman is a main character here. She's more of a supporting character, not a main. And then the other black woman that we see, she only has about one line. Basically, it was to go get Johnny's mom because the little kids wanted her because, you know, the entire dog situation. It's like, with the exception of all the extras in the film, there were only two. We barely saw the other one. And she was mean as hell. Okay, she was so freaking mean. I was just like, dang. Not only does this movie just have racism, it has misogynoir in it too. Dang, we can't win. We can't win at all. God. We gotta get down to one of the big issues within this film. The character of Uncle Remus. Okay, the character of Uncle Remus. I put on Twitter the other day that I was so excited that I could finally talk about the Boondocks on my channel. Because if you don't follow the storyteller on YouTube, which you do, there's no point in me making Boondocks content. He makes it all. Okay, but like, I was like, you know what? I finally have a chance to talk about the Boondocks here. It's sad that it had to be Song of the freaking South though. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, okay? Remus is basically similar to the Uncle Tom stereotype, okay? Which basically is a black man who likes to kiss white people's ass, okay? That's literally what that was. He is seen as, like, you know, he is held up on this pedestal because he is so nice and cool and respectful to white people. That's basically what the Uncle Tom stereotype is. And we see a lot of this happen nowadays with black men in hip-hop, as you know. The mess that happened last year with number 45 when all of them showed their asses going all out for him talking about, we gotta support him. I'm like, no, go sit down. Y'all dumb. Y'all is stupid. Okay? So that was just a big modern day real life representation of the Uncle Tom, just that right there. And also the one of the best known modern day Uncle Tom characters that people in my generation know about, both millennials and Generation Z. I am Gen Z, by the way, for you guys that don't know. It's Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks, okay? So yeah, you see why this is a problem? You see why this is a problem? If you don't know who Uncle Ruckus is, pause this video right now, go look up a clip of him on YouTube and you'll see why it's a problem, okay? You'll see why it is a problem. Like I said, Ruckus was a mess, okay? We all know Uncle Ruckus was a mess. He literally will always defend white people no matter what they do. He hated black people. He this and that and the third. And even like when Uncle Ramus was being mistreated, he was no Uncle Ruckus, by the way. He didn't act the way he did, but there are a lot of similarities of them just being kind to white people, taking their BS and whatever. It was really frustrating to sit through because I was just like... And it's obvious because, like I said, you know, the Boondocks is a bit of a satire. Uncle Ruckus basically is the character that makes fun of these people in real life. So a lot of y'all really misinterpret the Boondocks, by the way. If you're not smart, don't watch this show because you're just not gonna get it, okay? Uncle Ruckus, literally, he's making fun of all y'all black men out here that act like that. So yeah. Not just black men. There are black women out here that act like Ruckuses, okay? There are black men out here that act like Ruckuses. So yeah. And not only was Uncle Ramus an Uncle Tom type character, I had to explain the entire Ruckus thing, by the way. So, because a lot of people don't seem to get why Ruckus was offensive. And I was just like, okay, not Ruckus being offensive. Let me run that back real quick. What he means. A lot of people just didn't understand what he means. Because a lot of people are, like I said, if you're not smart, don't watch the Boondocks. You just don't, okay? Like I said, not only was he an Uncle Tom, he was also a magical Negro. And I'm just so sick of this trope. Y'all don't notice that in a lot of these films, they would literally have a black man over here mentoring a little white boy the entire time. Do y'all not notice that? And I noticed this a lot because it has been starting to happen with black women and the little white girl, okay? Have y'all not seen another Cinderella story? Not another Cinderella story, a Cinderella story. The one with Hilary Duff and Regina King. That was some magical Negro stuff there. Like, come on. But like I said, he's the magical Negro. That's what it is. But basically, they expect a black person to come in and, you know, take care of the white kid and help them with all their problems. That's literally what magical Negro is. And Disney still has a big problem with the magical Negro stereotype. We thought we was past it, we was not. As I mentioned numerous times on this channel, having the black kid in the story just to help their white friends. That's literally why a lot of these people are put in these places. That is just the really most frustrating thing about this. And the most recent example of Disney doing the magical Negro was in Soul. I was so disappointed. It's obvious that that kid was not black in Soul. Like, I would have loved it a lot better. To be honest, Soul was okay, but like I wasn't that big on it. I enjoyed it for the most part, but I wasn't too big on the film. Don't expect a Soul video, by the way. A lot of you guys keep asking to make one. I just don't want to make one. I'm sorry. But I really do wish that instead of him being mentoring a white kid, he mentored a black child. That would have made the story a bit more powerful, in my opinion. Seeing how black people literally can be positive representations for the younger generation, because that's literally how it always is. Like I mentioned earlier, how the black actors in this film, they literally suffered so black actors like me today can do better. It literally would have been a lot nicer if the kid in Soul, the Soul basically, they weren't a kid, were black. Because they weren't black, it really just gives into the magical Negro thing with this story, and it just really brought down the quality of it, in my opinion. So, woo, God, that literally took the life out of me. Y'all, what? I'm still over here saying what? What? Y'all, okay, let's go ahead and get more into this. Is this movie gonna make me stop watching Disney movies altogether and just kind of be done with the Disney company? And as me as somebody that kind of don't really care too much for the Disney company, I don't care to go to their theme parks and stuff like that. I have fun up in that Disney store though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I have fun up in the Disney store. It's like a little carnival in there though. If somebody want to pay for my trip to Disney World, go ahead. But like, I kind of just have no desire to pay for it myself. I'm just like, eh. I used to be like really, really big on wanting to go to Disney World. But now that I'm older, I'm just kind of like, I just kind of lost the appeal of it. I've really been into Universal Studios though. What am I saying? I got off topic. But like I said, is this movie going to make me stop watching Disney movies and shows altogether? No. It's not. Then I can explain. Like I said, I hate this movie. I hate Song of the South with a passion. It's bad for the culture. But just because it's bad for the culture don't mean you gotta keep it locked up in that vault. Come on, Disney. Come on. Let it out the vault. A lot of other people have seen it. And the thing about it is that, like, more of this illegal activity is going to continue the longer that Disney get it locked up, okay? Somebody going to have a big screening of that at a party one day and everybody going to see it, okay? Come on, Disney. Like, just, y'all not hiding it. It's not a secret. The people who made Song of the South, most of them I comprehend. I really don't think anybody who's worked on this movie is alive. All these people are dead. They're all dead, okay? They are all dead. It is not the same people making the Disney content we see today in modern day, okay? It's not the same people, okay? It's not the same, okay? It's a completely new, different group of people, different generation altogether, okay? But not, as I mentioned, that everybody that worked on this film ain't here no more. It really gives me a side eye to the people that are working on Disney today. It really gives me a big side eye to the people that are working with this company today. Because I'm just like, why do y'all keep hiding this film up? Why are y'all trying to act like this is a secret when it's not? There is so much information out here. A quick Google search about the history of this film literally will explain so much of why it's an issue. Literally, if you look hard enough, you will find a bootleg copy of Song of the South. You will see somebody trying to sell it on eBay. Okay? Literally, it's not a secret. Like, there's so much information out here that proves how much the Disney company could be. And y'all ain't doing a good job of hiding it because it's so obvious that if Disney thinks this movie is released, that it will stir up some mess. And it will. It literally will. But it's already stirring up mess because they keep hiding it and keep acting like they didn't make it. It's already starting mess right there. It's already a hot mess. Like I said, a lot of people like to say all publicity is good publicity. Disney know good and well that if they do eventually release Song of the South, it's gonna get them a lot of attention. They're still gonna make money from it. But like I said, do I think this movie should be released? Yes and no, and I'm going to get into that, why I think both yes and no is that why Song of the South should be released, but why it also shouldn't be at the same time. I say no because Disney going to be making money off racism like they always kind of do. You didn't hear that from me, dude. Anyway, that's that I said. Disney, they're just going to be making money off this movie, okay? They're going to be making movie off this money. What am I saying? But like I said, they're just going to be making money off of racism, okay? I done talked so much, my lip gloss starting to fade. But like I said, they're going to be making money off of it, which is always like a good thing in Disney's eyes. If they can make money, they're going to be happy, okay? But also, no to anyone under the age of 13, by the way. I don't think anyone under the age of 13 should see Song of the South, mainly because, like, this movie is a part of history and Disney needs to stop covering up. And when kids under the age of 13 see this movie, because I have seen numerous reviews of people talking about how they seen Song of the Past as a kid and they didn't see anything wrong with it, like, you know, Mr. Nostalgia Critic did in his Disney December of Song of the South. Woo. I remember I did a lot of research and people were talking about they saw a Song in the South as a kid and they didn't see an issue with it. So kids are just not going to understand why this movie hurts. So, and I understand that kids should be taught about racism. They should be taught why things are good and bad and things like that. But a lot of parents out here don't teach their kids about racism. They're just going to see this as a cute little funny kids movie when it's really not. So yeah, that's why, like I said, 13 and up, and Disney, you made an extremely hurtful movie. Coming from a black woman, a black girl living here in Atlanta where this movie revolves around, This movie really hurt. It really, really hurt me. I cried after watching this, okay? Maybe because I'm just a big crybaby, but who knows, okay? Like I said, and pretending you never made this movie and erasing it as much as you can from history, as much as you guys try to, and the more you guys try to erase this film, makes it more and more relevant in today's standards. It really hurts even more just seeing how you guys don't care. Like, it really hurt me how you guys put disclaimers for when you offended other minority groups in your movies, but you can't even come out and release Song of the South. You can't put your big boy pants on and release Song of the South. That really got me feeling some type of way. It's just when it comes to racism against other people and other minority groups, you guys just kind of be like, oh, we're sorry, yada, yada, yada. But y'all go through lengths and everything when it comes to you guys offending black people and trying not to say sorry and just try to dance around it. Because even when we brought up the magical Negro type stuff that you guys had in Soul, you didn't want to hear it. When we brought up the thing about how you turn black people into animals and just people of color in general into animals, you guys just kind of weren't here for it at all. So yeah, as I do think children under the age of 10 should learn about racism, this movie is just kind of not a good way to start with it, because if you're gonna do your job as a parent, go ahead, show your kids Song of the South, but you need to sit there and explain to them why it's hurtful. Because that's exactly why I don't think anyone under the age of 13 should see this film. Because the parents are not going to do their part and explain to them why it's bad. When you're a teenager, you have a better concept and understanding of social issues in the world. That's just comes with a maturity factor right there. They're just going to think it's a cute little kids movie, and that's a no. And a lot of parents nowadays still see Song of the South as a cute kids movie. They don't really care too much about why this movie has such a hurtful, harmful past to it and what it really means. Like, y'all got to start digging deeper within the media you guys consume, especially the media that your children are consuming. So, yeah, okay. Now, and if those movies can continue to be shown and talked about, like I said, this movie is just as hurtful as The Birth of a Nation and Gone with the Wind. So, like I said, this movie portrays lynching like it's something cute. It's not. It's really, really not at all. It's extremely hurtful. It really hurt me seeing all of these freaking lynching scenes and whatever. And it was a lot of them too. Like, it was like in sequences, but it was very, very disturbing. And like I said, if those movies can continue to be shown and talked about in history and in film classes, I think Song of the South should be too, okay? This is a part of film history. You made a racist movie, Disney. It's okay. It's not okay, but like, we see it. Stop hiding. Stop being cowards about it. Just come out, release it to the public. And this is like my solution to what I think Disney should do with Song of the South. I think they should release it to the public for free. You shouldn't have to pay to watch the film, okay? Like, at the end of the day, like, it's just like I said, I don't want Disney to be making money off of this very hurtful and offensive movie. But, like, if they release it free, they're still going to make revenue off of it. But I'm not about to pay my little $7 a month on Disney Plus to watch Song of the South, okay? No. Or, you know how they be trying to make you pay $20, $30 for movie releases, which is dumb. Like, don't do that. Really, do not do that whatsoever. Like I said, I think the movie should be made free to watch for ages 13 and up. I'm currently editing this video right now, and I found something very, very interesting about something that I mentioned. And I want to tell you guys, it says on my IMDb right now, by the way. I always come here for like my film information about stuff. It says, as the Disney company has never released a film on home video in the USA, the film will go into public domain in 2039, and Disney will lose all copyrights to the film if it does not get released again, physically in theaters or on home video, or even being digitally streamed for renting or purchase. So like I said, Disney, y'all can't work your way around this one right here. How? You can't work your way around it, because 2020 is 2039. That's honestly not that far away as we think it is. Sooner or later, everybody's gonna see Song of the South. Like, you might as well, I know y'all like money, go ahead and release it, because it's not gonna be y'all sooner or later, and I know y'all don't like missing out on money, so. Y'all, take Song of the South out of the freaking vault. It's no secret, okay? It's no secret. No, I don't agree with this movie being sold on DVD and things like that and whatever, but you should have it available to watch for free on YouTube. That's just the bare minimum right there, Disney. Just have it for free to watch on YouTube, okay? You're still gonna make the money from it, because I know you guys are always just trying to monetize every little ass damn thing y'all do, but like, you'll still make it. Come on. Release Song of the South. It's no secret. Release an apology. We just really kind of just want an apology at this point when it comes to this movie, because you guys keep going on and on and on talking about this movie isn't what Disney stands for, yada yada yada. But the more y'all hide this movie, the more like, well, I thought y'all didn't stand for that. Like, you're hiding it and making it look like y'all stand for it. But anyway, that's pretty much all I gotta say for this freaking Song of the South video. Don't forget to follow me on everything at Harriyanna. Support my shop. Support me. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below, because YouTube be playing with me. Love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.
Girls will just blow your mind. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their ruts. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bedtime. From Townsville, Memphis, New York to LA. The Powerpuff girls are just here to stay.